Hey guys, it's Bill from Linden, Tennessee. Welcome to another edition of Take Your Tractor to Work Day. I guess in this case it's Take Your Tractor Parts to Work Day. These are the input shafts for my transmissions right there. And that is the shafts that connect to the universal joints, the drive shafts that connect both the front and the back halves. Now, I had originally had this coupler on there. It's just a 17 millimeter coupler because this shaft is 17 millimeters, and I turned that down to 17 millimeters, and I just had it holding on with friction, and I just had those 4 Allen head screws just sort of clamping down on this with friction. Now that is, that's a lot of grip, it's a lot of strength to hold, but this is going to see a lot of torque, and for a long time too, so this will hold for a little while, and it did hold for a while when I was testing it out, but ultimately it's not really good enough. It needs to be keyed. Now it's easy to key these chrome shafts because the chrome part of it is hard, but underneath of that it's just mild steel, so it's very easy to machine key with. This, on the other half, is really hard, really hard. It's like, I don't know, it's like Rockwell 65. I bought some carbide bits for the mill. It wouldn't even touch it, like it wouldn't even scratch this surface. So we had to bust out the old cutoff wheel, and man, I gotta give a shout out to Kubitron cutoff wheels. These are just amazing. You get these through MSC. They're about $8 or $9 a piece, but man, if you do a lot of angle grind work, they are amazing. They last a long time. They're sharp. I don't know what they're made out of, but they're fantastic. And they didn't have any trouble getting through this hardened steel. So all I did was just set it up in the vise and went down and cut a straight line best I could, and it kind of worked out cool. Hold please. Yep. It kind of worked out cool that when I was back here cutting lines, you can see how the lights in the ceiling reflect straight. They reflect straight on this surface, so I was able to just sort of follow those lines with the cutoff wheel, and just kind of went back and forth, tried not to get too deep, and widened it out, and then eventually got it cut down to an 1/8 inch wide key, and then that just slides in there. That slides in there. Then I went over to the broach and broached out an 1/8 inch keyway on this coupler. Went to the milled out an 1/8 inch slot for the drive shaft, and then those 3 pieces all slide together, and you end up with something that looks a whole lot like this. This is way stronger. This isn't going to slip. I don't know how this could fail. There's no way that I'll have the motor. I guess technically the motor might have enough torque that it could break that, maybe, but the tires will never get enough traction to to transmit that kind of torque through that. But it's not going to slip like it could have before, so that's good. That's something I don't have to worry about. So I can go ahead and put this thing back together and know that it's going to hold. So that's really great. And I did that to both of them, and yeah, that's that. And in case anybody was wondering, hey Bill, how's that P55 box maker partitioner coming along? The one with the inclined vacuum table and the stacker that has the slip sheet and accumulator. I know you were wondering that. Well, here, we got this thing together last week. Don't have any electronics on it yet, but this is kind of how it is all coming together. Yeah, it's pretty cool, huh? Yeah, this is the part we're kind of proud about. I'm not going to go into detail about why we did this, but so this little part slides back and forth. So what happens is the paper, or cardboard as you would know it, but you'd be wrong to call it cardboard, it's paper, comes through that machine over there, gets some slots punched in them, and then gets cut in half, and then gets fed up that vacuum table into here. This will be up, and then it lands on that one, and it lands on that one, and about 7 or 8 of these things builds up while the workers clear this table of the cardboard that's already been cut, the paper that's already been cut. And then once this table is cleared and it elevates back up, it'll come to about 6 or 8 inches below that right there, and then some an air valve will open up, and this will go thonk like that, and this will go like that, and it'll drop that stack onto there. And so the process never has to stop while they're clearing out this load table. So that's pretty cool. This is about the second or third iteration of how to make that work, but you're not here to talk about partitioners and all that stuff. No, you're here to talk about tractor parts. Speaking of tractor parts, I got my buddy Kevin doing some painting. Let's go see how he's doing. Here's the other half of the shop. Take you back here to the paint booth. See how our good buddy Kevin is doing. Oh yeah. He's working on the grill now, or not the grill, the radiator panel. Over there in the corner, sort of in front of him, that's the leftovers of the hood that I did. We're kind of using that as a test piece just to see how the primer was spraying on and how the paint was coming on top of it. Nearest to us, of course, is the front frame, and then over there to the right is the back. But laying down some yellow. It's going to look nice. It's going to look real nice. This is just going to be the first coat. We'll do this one today. This is a Saturday. We'll do this one today, let it set up, and then probably, I don't know when, Monday or Tuesday after work, go ahead and shoot the other coat of it, let it set for a little while, and then I will be able to get her done. And here we are back at the house. Yeah, today went really, really well. Got all that bodywork painted orange. Well, frame's painted orange, at least the first coat, and that went on very well. And I got both of those drive shafts keyed the way I wanted to, and I think that's a vast improvement. I think that'll make it so there's no threat of anything slipping. I don't know where the next weakest link is, but as long as it isn't there, it's going to be in a more accessible place. So I got it all back together, and you know, just all went together just like it was supposed to. No big deals. And there was some scratch paint from when I took it apart. This up here, that all got RTV'd, so that was kind of ugly. So I went ahead and put another coat of paint on it, paint it black, make it go away. And that I went ahead and painted these discs. Don't really foresee me using the disc brakes very much, so I think I'd rather have them painted so that they aren't rusty, at least so they don't look rusty. And yeah, so that's it. I also did a weird thing, but I think it's kind of important. All these little screws that I took out of the frame, I actually had all these screws in the frame so that I kind of know where they go, but then I decided that I'm just going to go crazy and take the screws out. So that's what I did. But I did put them back in here to get painted, and then I found those two right there. So they still need to get painted. Not entirely sure what they're for, but I've also got 4 nuts and 6 washers over there by that front axle on the floor. I'm not sure where they go either. But I got to do another coat on these anyway, and I'll pick up those last 2 when they're done. And what else? I don't know. That's kind of it. Very, very excited to have those frames getting painted. We're not going to be able to go in and do a second coat tomorrow. Monday, they'll definitely be dry. And perhaps Monday after work, Kev can go ahead and put a second coat on there for me, and then let them dry for another day or 2, and bring them on home. And then possibly next weekend, I can start putting this all back together, and that will be great. So, alrighty, as always, thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.